I know that the message is not Yoruba Lokan. The message is Tinubu Lokan. And when it comes to Tinubu, the only prosperity that you are going to get in Yoruba land is the prosperity that is going to be given to his lackeys. He's going to give it to his cronies. Just same one is being given to them. They have been sharing together for the past 23 years. You may not care. I mean, it's not new to me. You don't have to care. But you should try and care. It's your choice if you don't. But the consequences of that should also be your choice too to deal with. But you should care. Nigeria is what it is now. His friends are going to be richer. Many of you are going to be poorer. Yes, you are. It's the same thing with Atifku. Atifku, whenever he gets it, yeah, he's coming from northern Nigeria. Buhari is from northern Nigeria. Can you tell me how the life of an average northerner in the last 7 years is better than the life of an average southerner in the last 7 years? Can you tell me? Of course, you know that is unreal. In fact, we are praying that the calamity that has befallen the northern Nigeria should not envelope us in southern Nigeria before we wake up. That means we don't want what they have. We don't want to, if having a president from your side is going to make your life better, I mean, how many of you can say, make God, make Tinubu, make God let Tinubu make your life in southern Nigeria the same way Buhari made the life of northerners? How many of you can say amen to that? Of course not. So whether Atifku, whether Buhari, whether Atifku, whether Tinubu, you should know one thing. You will be fooling yourselves to even think that is going to change anything. And you see, life is so short that sometimes you have to ask yourself because I sometimes ask Oloye Sunday Igboho. I said, Oloye, you actually have everything going for you. I mean, you have done so well for yourself. You could just be enjoying your life. You see all this insecurity issue that we are talking about. You yourself, you'll be, before any Fulani will cross you and take you in or anything. Oh boy, they go kill a lot of people. He said, yes. I said, but you just put all of that aside. And then pretty much like you risk it all to ask the Yoruba to come together and defend ourselves. And look at what happened. And he personally told me that if they have to put the price is paid for asking us to come together and defend ourselves and defend Yoruba land. When he told me the price is paid, when they burnt his house, killed 2 innocent people in his house. Igboho Dash could have continued to just, as so many people have said, continue to enjoy his life peacefully. Don't worry about these people. You can't fight for them. This is a man who rose up, nearly killed, and still lost over 100 million naira to the whole thing. Remember, they burnt his house, they destroyed his property, and then targeted his business, closed me, Mayegun, talking to you right now. I can just be like all of you, or many of you watching me right now. Make I just watch somebody talking about Nigeria. Nobody need to know me. Nobody need to hear me. At least where I am pretty much safe. My family is safe. Their future is safe. Their future is secured. My life is safe. My future is secured. I have something worked out for me. But look at me here, answering one Mukaila from Ejigbo, who is telling me that I am destroying my life for telling him not to stop destroying his own life. Stop destroying the lives of the people around you. Look at that one, Kingsley from Enugu, telling me to shut up and then face my life because, this whole thing against Tinubu, against the politicians, you are just destroying your life. How am I destroying my life when I am watching from far? You blow yours away, burn your lives away on the promise of people who actually destroyed the same place. That's the question. That's the question I asked Igbo. I said, we have nothing to gain. We have nothing to lose if we want to be selfish. But we have a lot to lose if we want to be sensible and not selfish. You can have all you have, everything. Then one day, you will realize that you've actually lost your identity. You've lost your value. You've lost your heritage. You've lost where you come from because you didn't give a damn. I don't know how many of us who are like that. Everything you see today, politics and all of that, the gain you get from that, all the noise, all the drama, they are momentary. They are momentary. But you see the effects, their own effects or the consequences of all those decisions, they are everlasting for life. It takes a generation to change that. So, the distraction that we must work seriously to close gap, that distraction is here. So we have to let people know. Okay? You have to let people know that this conversation, okay, it's not about who is better, who is good, who is preferable between APC, PDP, Labour Party, which is Peter Obi and the rest. No, it's not about that. It is about the system all of you are trying to make those choices on. Nigeria. If you pay attention very well, you would not waste your energy. So now they have the distraction. Peter Obi on the right. So many people who don't believe in Nigeria anymore, they are now rooting for Peter Obi. They are now looking on the side. I told you yesterday, I said, the young people who said they don't believe in PDP, they don't believe in APC, right? They are now pushing Peter Obi. That's a distraction for the self-determination, isn't it? If all of us are still open, that something is going to make people to agree, well, something is not going to make them anytime soon. That's the point. Something is not going to make them see the truth now, or accept it, or act on it now, if nothing is done. Talking to them alone is not going to do it. And that is why I know for those of us in the temple of truth, we must continue to get our people to know, you see, getting involved in their election comes with consequences. And in the long run, we should also at the same time continue to position ourselves, present ourselves in the minds of the same people that are going to be reading the messages of these people. This is no time to think that, because like I said, it would have been so good if they have crashed out. You see all of these, their supporters and the rest of them who have been, whose energy have been renewed now. By now, they would have been so demoralized. They would have been so disturbed. And when you say, how far? What about Yoruba Nation now? Majority of them would have picked that up. But you know one thing? The reason why I also said we should not completely underrate the Peter Obi and the young people right now in Nigeria who are saying they are done with PDP and APC. We should not overlook them. We should not pretend that we don't see what is going on, because they have positioned themselves as the alternative from the fallout of PDP APC, is sort of a third force that we'll talk about some other time too. But they are positioning themselves. As you are watching this video right now, even the different groups who are doing Yoruba Nation, in the next few days, in the next few months, in the next few days and few weeks, they are going to start telling you that to get Yoruba Nation, Yoruba must support Tinubu. And before you know it, they will begin to argue along that line. It is all fraud. It's all lie. To counter them, you are not just going to be talking down on them. We need to put a lot of stuff out there too. Now we know they are contenders now. Now we know what to tell the people. When you put Tinubu, when you put Atifku, when you put Obi, when you put every one of them on the same plate, now we know what to tell the people why Yoruba Nation is pretty much imminent. So they said that the northern Nigeria have settled for Atifku. But I will tell you this, Tinubu's money can buy anything buyable. Like he said, like he told you, whatever money cannot do, more money will do it. There's so much of a kind of political spread as it is now. If they ever conduct an election, by the way, this level of terrorism in Yoruba land, this level of killing in Yoruba land, don't ever get carried away too much, because what happened in our war that we pray and hope should never happen anywhere else. Yeah, they are also still pretty much a danger that they are telling you to overlook. That if Tinubu becomes the APC Egbekegbe's candidate, it's never going to stop the insecurity in Yoruba land. In fact, from what we know, it's going to escalate it. Yeah, it's going to escalate it. So it is better for us, any one of us who believes so much in Yoruba land, who believes so much in Yoruba safety, believes so much that we cannot just sit back and complain. Then it's going to be the time for us to do something that we've always wanted to do, which is we will cause a little bit of upset, a little bit of distraction, a little bit of embarrassment for them here and there in Yoruba land. All of these are also going to be part of their political conversation as long as it lasts. Do you get that now? The reason why we have to be part of this, the part of those that will tell them, don't forget about Yoruba Nation, don't forget about who you are. Don't let them promise you nonsense. They are doing all of this via one Nigeria. The same thing, the same set of faces who promised you to the Buhari and all of that. They are going to come back to you. But we're not going to say that on social media like this. We're going to say to our people right there in Yoruba land. We're going to fund that. So Lagos Abobakus, I told you yesterday, I said, if your man get burned, that is not even your candidate, he is never going to be off our hook. As long as Buhari APC Egbekegbe exists, it will always be responsible for all the calamities brought upon us as a people. It will always be responsible, among many of them. And I also told you, I said, if he becomes your candidate, he actually makes it better. In fact, it's even better. You know why it's even better? On the other side, though, it's because it will be easier for you, or let me say, it will be easier for us to further convince reasonable, sensible Yorubas that she is this the best, the reason why they have to keep us as part of Nigeria for another 8 years. This is going to be part of our messages. Your Tinubu is going to always be like a blab. It's going to miss yarn. It's going to poo-poo. It's going to pee. It's going to trip. It's going to shake. It's going, all of those things, yeah? We will put them there. We are not just going to talk about them on social media. We are going to put them out there. The same way you are going to put all your lies, on the face of our people. The same way you are going to bombard our people with your lies, promises that are not there. We are also going to use our money. To use every of those to tell our people, this is not it. Choose Yoruba nation and demand for it. And yes, and we will get it. Yeah, we will get it. Well, of course, we don't have billions, and we will likely not have billions. But with what we have, Tinubu is going to be the one giving us the content. Atiku is going to be the one giving us the content. Your Nigeria will be the one giving us the content to tell our people, is this the one that is worth it? Your newspaper, you are going to pick up your newspaper in Nigeria, major dailies, right? We'll buy the front pages, we'll put it there. Yoruba nation is coming. All of these are going to be our own engagements. As you are lying to our people, we are going to be telling them the truth. So do you get that now? I am not one of those that would come here and tell you that no election, no election. No, no. That's uncivil. Especially if you are fighting for freedom, if you are fighting for liberty, if you are fighting for anything like a decision of like a referendum, all these they require what is called a democratic norm. And listen to me, the world watches, and you are not alone. But my own thing is this: as you have the right to say you want to vote or campaign and all of that, so do we have the right to also campaign and tell our people the reason why they should not be part of it. You are going to try and tell them, Yoruba Lokon, Omo Yoruba, Yoruba this and that, and you are going to call us enemy of Yoruba land. But we are going to tell our people the truth. If you call Mayegun enemy of Yoruba land, if you call the concerned Yorubas worldwide enemy of Yoruba land, we will tell our people the truth, the real enemy of Yoruba land. We'll give them, facts, fact and figure like that. We'll show them things that they have never been shown before. We'll go out there, and we know many of you are going to be very hostile. You're going to be very, very, very hungry. Nobody is coming to sell Tinubu. Nobody is coming to sell Atiku. Listen to me. Nobody is coming to sell anyone to you. What they are coming to do is to come and intimidate you, blackmail you, or bribe you into accepting either of the two. Do you understand that? And they are not going to do it directly. They're going to do it through so many people. For example, you're just wasting your time if you don't vote for PDP or APC. You are just wasting your time if you think Yoruba nation will come, if you don't support Tinubu. You are just wasting your time. And all of those statements, things to tell you, bully you, emotionally blackmail you, until you finally either stay away or you sign up for either of them. And that is why I ask people who want to challenge that, why do you want to waste your time? Why do you want to waste your time trying to fight a system that predates you, which means a system that is deliberately put together, rigged even before your birth? Don't try to fix it. You just have to get rid of it. And we need a number of people. We need a lot of people to understand why first, structurally. And we know that we don't have the money they have. We don't have the money they have. We don't have the number of, we don't have slaves in our camp that couldn't think for themselves. The confusion you have is simply from those who believe that they can still continue to do same thing again and again and get a different result. So if you want to celebrate anything, my brother, I think the ideal thing you should be celebrating at all is that you are still alive now to listen to me. You are still alive now to watch me, and you can indeed jubilate, jibe, and the rest of them. But I have lived long enough. Okay, I have lived long enough. I've lived there long enough to see that you are going to be the victim of your own joy. There were many of you who had jobs, in 2014, 2015. You were even donating, contributing money for Buhari, APC, Egbekegbe. Today, many of you have no real job anymore. Some of you, or let me say many of you who had your businesses pre-APC, Egbekegbe in 2015. 7 years after that, it is either you are now in something just getting by, or you are completely out of business, nothing. There are many of you who relocated out of Nigeria, even though they promised you that once APC, Egbekegbe, once they come to power, many of you will be returning back to Nigeria because corrupt people are those who are going to be running away. That is not what happened. And if you think the same set of people who told you those lies have changed, they have found a new solution, a new idea that you have never seen before, and it's going to change your lives the same way I told you then. The same way. There was a girl. There's this girl who was singing. How many of you remember this girl who was singing February inside the Keke Marwa on Seko? There's this girl. She was singing inside Keke Marwa. And it was a Nigeria February. Buhari came in. She actually became so popular. On social media, she became, you know what I mean? Like, hey, after a year that Buhari came in, and Buhari started, the results started coming out, right? 2 years after that, she left Nigeria, right? So people were now, you know, as usual, people were digging up people who brought in Buhari. They dug this girl out. And the girl started crying that they were bullying her. Me, I won't bully you. She even said I bullied her. She told me. She said that Mayegun was bullying me. I didn't bully her. I was just pretty much like elections have consequences. So it is the same thing now. Okay? Whatever you get yourself involved in, there are consequences for them. If you are able to be, if you are happy with your choice, you must also be happy with the consequences. Some of you are happy with the consequences, but we just feel like even those who are not in support, they are now victims of the consequences of your choices. And what can we do other than to save ourselves before we all become victims? If you don't care for your life, of course, go for it. But there are those who do care for their lives. And those are the people who want to reach out to and tell them, before they turn this to Yoruba versus Igbo, versus Hausa, North versus South, because they will use all the division, all the dividing technique in the book. They will use that. Before you get yourself caught up, somehow as a Yoruba man, before you get offended because of somebody is saying something about Tinubu and they are using Yoruba generally, I am asking you to remember that is going to happen. Before you, my dear brother, Igbo man and woman, my dear brothers and sisters, before you begin to generalize about Yorubas, remember, there are Yorubas who are not interested in Tinubu or Atifku or the entire system entirely. And whenever you begin to use your generalization, just remember them. I can't tell you what to do. For somebody like myself, to keep my sanity, to keep myself sane, in this madness that is going to envelop everybody soon, I have decided to always see people, to always see someone as who they are, rather than thinking that person or a group of people or group of persons, they speak or represent the tribe or ethnic. Tinubu doesn't represent me. My own Yoruba brother is going to call me a bastard. Do you know that? So don't make it worse by you then joining and say, Yorubas are. Be careful. Because there are Yorubas who are not interested in all these shenanigans. But somehow, the voice, the resources at the disposal of these opportunists, these traitors, Yoruba traitors who sold us off, The resources is massive. Our people have been enslaved for that long. So I'm saying this to you. They are going to play tribal card. They are going to play ethnic card. They are going to play religious card. At some point, you will see some people will tell you, if you don't support Tinubu and you are not a Yoruba man, you have to leave Yoruba land. All these rhetorics, they are coming from the blatant and then empty slaves of these oppressors. They are empty. They are, these are like, they are like empty vessels. Okay, like vacuum, empty vessels. Whatever is filled into them is what they are going to spit out. So all these guys don't speak for us. They don't represent us. There are Yorubas who believe that the worst of the Yoruba land are those representing the Yoruba land. The worst of Yoruba land, they are representing the best of Yoruba land. If you don't believe me, go and talk to them. They will tell you. These are the comfortable slaves in Yoruba land as well. They will tell you that they are better. They are okay. They are okay with what they have. They don't speak for me. They don't speak for people like me. So in order to keep your own sanity, see, you can. Some of you feel comfortable and say, Yorubas are this, Yorubas are that. That is your own problem. So if you see me and say, "Do you see all these Yoruba people, this Yoruba," that's your headache, you. They are going to make you say that. They are. One moment. Don't do any poll. Somebody is saying that we should do a quick poll. You are wasting your time. What we should be doing most of the time is this. Would you support Yoruba nation? Or would you continue to go for Nigeria presidency? So when you put a questionnaire like that out, then you can start a conversation. That is what our own organization is going to do in the coming weeks by the grace of God. You get what I mean now? So don't do any poll. You're just going to be wasting time. This time around is beyond online poll and anything anymore. We're just going to put a questionnaire out. Our people are going to be asked, and we are going to we're going to keep the record. Yes, we're going to record that and see the pulse and feel the pulse of our people in the coming weeks, so to say. So they are going to make you feel like all Yorubas are supporting Tinubu. You are going to see videos. You are going to see some loonies. You are going to see some callers. They are going to speak on social media. They are going to make videos. They're going to say a lot. I just want you to know one thing. And that is something that has been established, especially on Mayegun's Diary Political, for over 10 years now. Something that has been established, that there are Yorubas who knows these people very well. There are Yorubas who knows what they have turned our people into. There are Yorubas who are never, ever, ever going to be in bed with these guys. And there are Yorubas that can't wait to get done with these guys, to be done with them completely. There are actually Yorubas. I am one of them. So in Yoruba land, these Oshins, these cretins, these crumb eaters, ass lickers, ombud slaves, right? They call us names too. When they abuse us, when they attack us, when they call us their enemy, the enemy of this, the enemy of that. But when it comes to why do they not have electricity, they don't mention our name. Why do they not have good hospitals? They don't mention our names. Why do they not have good hospitals and education system for their children? They don't remember us as the enemy, because we are not their real enemies. So I just want you to know this. It is going to get so dirty. Oh, APC campaign is going to be a child's play. Remember the campaign of APC, Egbekegbe, Buhari versus Jolantan, then Buhari versus Atifku. You see this particular one, it is going to be everybody go collect. Tinubu don't spend over $100 million so far. They are ready to spend more than $5 billion for this election. I'm talking about something over 2 trillion to 3 trillion naira. They will buy whatever is buyable. They will chase whatever is chaseable. They will bury whatever is buryable. They will, they will do whatever it takes. They will divide whatever is divisible. So what we have to know is this. this is coming. And the only way to keep ourselves together is to always remember this is coming. They will abuse you, they will call you names. It's not new. Okay? Their joy don't really last. That is why I said this particular one, we then get today, against all odds, let them enjoy it. But is it going to last? Of course it is not. But where are you going to? Are you going to continue to wait? Of course, we are no longer going to wait. Now we know those who are going to lie to our people. How are we going to make sure that whatever they tell them is watered down? And the shocker that possibly they are not expecting before they are 2023. That can be done if we don't just complain. So, they don't give us their lists. It is time for us to release our own moves. So look at me very well, sir. Those of us who are talking about Yoruba land and Nigeria, we have stated our reasons why we are not interested in any of your candidates, in any of your political party, or where they come, your candidates, or wherever they come from. We are not interested. Listen, we know here, we actually know this on Mayegun's Diary Politico that, yes, it is either they self-destruct or they weaken themselves. So by the time it is time for the people to rise, genuinely rise against them, yeah, they will be kind of too weak. They will be too weak to fight back. Many of you, their supporters, their followers, their believers, majority of you, I mean, you would have become too weak, hungry to even fight for them. Because whatever it is, if they put all of you in a bracket, even full one basket. Oh, now the divided people, they give all of you the muzzle. So to get them together, get everyone together, tell them the truth, drop this whole charade, come together and fight for what is right for you, push for something that they won't push for you. If you validate what they gave to you, you are going to be in that bondage for another 4 years, another 8 years, or maybe another 80 years. So if you have the energy now, you will do something, especially for your own children. One thing is this: Yoruba first. So we don't care where the candidates come from. And I don't want you to get blackmailed for that. So if you know why somebody like me continue to, to enlighten the Yorubas, my Yoruba brothers and sisters, it is a tough job. You don't know. There are many people who are like, they love what I'm doing so much. Fact for fact. You know what I mean? Number for number. But when it comes to how I actually talk about these rogues, these Yoruba criminals, as much as they love me, right? They always kind of feel, how I wish that Mayegun doesn't really attack all this Yoruba, because they are Yoruba. I'm a Yoruba man. Some of them are wondering, how Mayegun, I can't do what you are doing, I can't, I mean, I can say it in private, call them names, that, say them be this or that, cause them, do all of that. But on camera, Mayegun, you get live out. I said, your fear is that the people that are your supposed fellow Yoruba people, they are going to feel offended. That you're not a Yoruba man. You should not be saying that about your fellow Yoruba man, whatever is the thing. Don't ever say that about them. But do you know why you are going to listen to them? Because as a Yoruba man, you don't want your fellow Yoruba not to like you. I don't want my fellow Yoruba people. I don't want people, generally, there are people who feel like, I don't want people not to like me. I don't want them to see me as rude. But when I was doing my own research, I discovered that there is no other people who have been so rude, disrespectful, right? Condescending, towards us, than the same people who are demanding respect from us. And the moment I discovered that they are worthless piece of shit, I don't care about their age anymore. So as a Yoruba man, I decided to say it exactly the way it is, because I know what I'm saying publicly is what many of you are saying privately. Or you can come public like, Omo Olodo there, Omo Olodo there, and this and that, because as a typical Yoruba man, or as a typical, as a typical human being, you are expected to have your bias towards your kind, no matter what. I have my bias towards my Yoruba people. Serious one. A bias that says, I love Yoruba land more than anything. Because that's all I've got. But the threat against Yoruba land, when I figured it out, the threat is not coming from outside. The threat is coming from within. Because the threat from within is a threat of weakening us for the invasion of the outside. And that hurts. It hurts so badly. So as a Yoruba man, it is pretty much the right thing. As a Yoruba, if you enter one room, they say in Yoruba, when two brothers enter one room to go and talk, they walked out looking fresh, smooth, laughing. Just believe that 100%, they just went there to go and lie to themselves. But you see, in a room where Yorubas are telling themselves the truth, and some people are denying the truth or rejecting the truth, if you close the door for few minutes, if you open the door later, you go see some injured, tired body on the floor. But the people standing, you can tell there is a battle. So if they walk out of that room, they will not be smiling or laughing. It simply means they have dropped age, they have dropped class, they have dropped everything that makes them, that gives them a grade. They told themselves the truth. That's the kind of Yoruba man that you should have at the back of your mind when the Lagos Abobaku begin to troll you everywhere, throwing Yoruba this, Yoruba that. Before you call us names, just know that so many of us who are reasonable Yorubas, we are doing our best to keep our mad people under check. Today, it is so bad that the mad, I want weary, they are calling me weary. Simply because I am telling them that for 23 years, Yorubas have been in charge of Yoruba land. And yet, there is nothing called political, economic, or security integration of Yoruba land. Nothing. Everything is just vibes. And inshallah, God will be blood of Jesus. God is seeing us. He's seeing us. So there's nothing. There's no plan. And as a logical person, you can't be in the same boat with these rogues. No. So people don't like me for that. And I've earned that. So when they come with their divisive rhetorics, when they come with their Nigeria this or that, I want you to know something. We need ourselves to stop these rogues. And that is why I am not ruling out the Peter Obi people. I have seen what they are doing. I said something must kill a man. Whatever is it going to be, something must end Nigeria. And as it is going to self-destruct. The people who are living in their own bubble, the bubble of power, we can do whatever we want and get away with whatever we want. Then the people who are tired on the other side, pushing and pushing, they said they will use Labour Party to send APC and PDP away. I say, really? I would love to see that. But do you know why I actually want to see that? It's because when Nigeria happened to them for real, we want everybody to meet their own reality. Okay? If Tinubu and his friends from northern Nigeria, Kaduna, Katsina, Kano, Bauchi, and all those, Northwest, then they call them, all the states that gave him the delegate, if they stay loyal, so they decide to just give it to Tinubu in case of Atiku, so that they're like, okay. And as it be so, Nigeria is so divided, there are so many people already predicting what it's going to be like. It can't be like waiting then do the Northerner in 2015. They won't do to the people who do harm to them. Let me give you a quick recap of that quickly. That just came to my mind. In 2015, before 2015, from the report, they said that Tinubu and gang, they decided to settle for Buhari and make Pastor Ruga his vice. Listen, because they knew then that Buhari was not going to last long. He was very sick, very, very. So probably it was going to be like a Yaradua. And if that should happen, in fact, before Pastor Ruga, Tinubu was going to be the vice president. It was going to be Muslim tickets before Saraki, Atiku, and the new PDP who joined them said no. Then they brought in Pastor Ruga. So they said the plot back then was that if APC, Egbekegbe, should win the election, Buhari is not going to last anyway. So Pastor Ruga will just be the good luck Jonathan of APC. And Tinubu and gang, they can just gain access to power behind the door. Buhari failed to die. Since Buhari now failed to die, and then 2019 election was coming, Pastor Ruga was still pretty much never going to be president. So what happened? They made Tinubu believe that if you work for us for the second term, we'll give you something at the end of it. You will be the next. Since you are also pretty much a London hospital patient, Abi, then we'll give you another now. That same thing that your people were waiting for, Buhari to pay, now our people will be waiting for that too. So it's a tricky one. Whatever comes out as it is, you can tell none of it has your interest in it, which is where I get interest. That's it now. They say, you remember when Buhari was very sick and Pastor Ruga was the acting president? Yeah, there's a recording. There's a recording where Pastor Ruga was saying the ministers, they don't respect him. That the senators and leadership, they don't really respect him because they see him as an houseboy. That's CEO. When he becomes the substantive president after Buhari, he didn't say Buhari should die. He didn't say that in the audio. He just said it there that, and Buhari was there in London. And the rumor everywhere is that Buhari don't die, Buhari don't die. Pastor Ruga was now saying they will all have to come here and respect him because he will need to, he's going to be the president, so he can sack all of them and hire other people. So they will now come and respect him. He was complaining bitterly that they don't respect him. They just see him as a houseboy. Then he was like, when I become the president, and I want to see how they're going to deal. So how can you be president to deal with Buhari's ministers, except Buhari dies, Abi? So that's the audio of Oshibajo that they said they have on him, the compromise they have on him. So which kind of proved that indeed the permutation was let Oshibajo be the vice president to a sick Buhari. So if Buhari then die, Oshibajo can just go in and power can come to Yoruba land, Yoruba president. Do you get that now? By using Buhari. That didn't work out. So now, Kolu is going to, if Kolu is your president, they will say, Yoruba president. Then Yorubas will begin to pray. Hey, make Kolu no die, make Kolu no die, because if Kolu should die like this, power is going back to the north. You see all of these things. Oh, now they've given it to Tinubu. No, the north is just deceiving him. The north is going to give it to, they're going to vote for Atiku. Hey, but if you ask me personally, which I have always been asking all of you all the time, why do you want to get yourself involved in all of that? When you know that at the end of the day, now una go suffer am. The people who get the power will get the power. Like my song said, they suffer to get the power. They know they do anything with the power. They suffer to get the power. They kill. They did all of that. They threaten to make Buhari president. Now they get the power, they know they do anything with it. You, who is going to want them to be in that power? You that is, who is pushing for it? I'm asking you, does it really worth it? So me, I don't get any candidate. To me, I'm just here to mock you, mock every one of you. If you, every one of you who is one Nigerian, it would have been so fun tonight, and it's still pretty much fun because it's also time to let you know that enjoy, celebrate, do whatever you want to do. But at the same time, we know what is coming. We know what your next move is going to be. We know the divisive politics you play. We know the propaganda politics you play, and we know the intimidating politics, that you play. We just want to make sure that our people know this too. And this time around, they are prepared as well. So yeah, this is where we come in. Do you get that? This is where we come in. It's not going to be just talk. So far, so good. There's been a lot going on behind the scene, and we just have to increase it. There's a lot going on behind the scene because all of this cannot be done. Yoruba nation, and then whatever we are pushing, right? They cannot be done if our people are easily convinced to keep going to their rallies, to keep shouting Yoruba local, because that is going to be different now. Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation is going to be like slowing down if we don't do anything now. It's going to be Yoruba local, Yoruba local, Yoruba local. And before you know it, you just have to dead the Yoruba Nation campaign. The other day, one of the leading figures of the Yoruba Nation, and I think it was 2 years ago, once said that Tinubu is Yoruba. If Tinubu become the APC candidate, Yoruba Nation will vote for him. I don't know what they are going to say now that Tinubu is the candidate. That's why I'm trying to warn you ahead of time. There's going to be serious fight. Tinubu's money will enter different groups and they will start fighting themselves now. Many people will tell you to wait and wait, but we have done so much to have stopped, to now put a hold on this. Tinubu doesn't need to leave a limp. All he needed is got it. What he wanted, he has it. Now, if he cannot use whatever he's going to do to get that power the same way they manage to intimidate Jonathan out of office, they will do everything. But on top waiting, on top Nigeria, that is where you come in. That is where I come in. That's where we all come in. So if we want this voice to still be so loud out there, there's no more time of us staying in one place. It is time for us to take the message straight to our people, talk to them. It's not going to be easy. Trust me, it's not going to be easy. They are going, as you are walking into different homes, right? You are going to be seeing Tinubu people everywhere, and they are going to call you enemy. But you know how it's going. The other easiest part of it is that you can easily tell them, collect whatever they give to you. As they have the right to vote, so do you have the right to say you are not voting. Okay? Tell them about Yoruba Nation. That's how we are going. That's what the mobilization that we are going to do in the coming weeks. The mobilization we are going to fund in the coming weeks, our fellow Yorubas. So if the Yorubas, if our people want the Yoruba Nation and they don't know how to go about it, it is now time for us now to discover those people, bring them out, support them. As Tinubu is coming to lie to them, like I said, it is now our job to water down those lies so that when they get to a point where they expect the way they pay their delegates, the same way they are going to give you a bag of rice, give you money, give you food here and there to go and vote for them, same way they always do every 4 years. They give the delegates money. They are going to give you the money. And our job is to tell you that you also have the right to collect all of that and sit at your house on that day. You don't waste it. You don't let anybody emotionally drag you out and say, Shebi, you are a Yoruba man. Jalo. You also have the right to sit at your house, cook the rice they give you, Use the money they give to you to buy meat and fish. Prepare that for your family and sit at home to chop the rice. Yeah, you can boycott the election. Our job is to see how we can tell you to do that. And then it's up to you if you do it or not. Like I said, it is not going to be easy. But if we are not ready to actually put a foot on the ground, if we're not ready to actually march and put boots on the ground and march here and there, then we can continue to hope that our wish will come true. I don't want to sit down and hope. I don't want to sit down and wish. I want to start acting. And that's exactly what I'm going to, implore you as well, watching me right now. They are going to emotionally get you. You have been listening to my ego all this while. You have been having your doubt all this while. But in this last 24 hours and all the hours that are going to come after this, you are going to be faced with every lie that is going to make you think you should reconsider. But how do we keep you upright? How do we keep you sane? How do we keep you informed? Is by always keeping you engaged. It's going to be beyond the social media. It is now going to be our own job. We have to go out there as they are sending their agent to go and share rice to our people, to go and share clothes for our people, to go and give them money. We are also going to be there telling our people, listen, collect it, keep it. In fact, take this more, take this more. We'll give them more and say, take more, take more. It is your right to stay away. Don't validate their fraud. Weaken them from where they don't expect. And as a Yoruba man, a Yoruba woman, you don't need to disrupt anybody. You don't need to tell anybody not to. If you go there with, no. It is going to be our job as they are lying to you, as they are lying to our old men and women, as they are lying to our aged, the pensioners, the disabled, the vulnerable, and all of them in our society. The people that actually get manipulated to validate all this fraud, the people that get all their rallies filled up, we are not just going to talk to them here. We are going to meet them in their rooms. We are going to meet them in their shops. We're going to meet them on the buses. You watching me right now, that is your job. When we go on live, you are going to be a volunteer. You are going to go into homes, into houses, like people who are preaching, evangelists. You are going to go and evangelize and tell them Yoruba nation or nothing. How do we make that happen? It's up to us. If we can't do that, then we should stop pointing fingers and blaming people that they don't listen, they are poor, they follow this, they follow that. Enough of all of that, please. Because what I have figured out is that educated people campaign for corrupt people. Educated people campaign for criminals. Educated people put up lies to sell all these politicians to the uneducated people. They sell them onto these illiterate. They sell them to our people who are scared. They sell all these criminals to our people who are vulnerable. And when when our people now vote for them, when our people now validate them after collecting money here and there, educated people will now blame the poor people for electing the corrupt people. Do you understand that? So we need to be the absorber in between, something that is going to absorb and then water down the lie as it gets to our people. In between, we must have effects in this dear election. Boycotting it is one of them. And I'm talking about something that will become so serious, even if Tinubu's money will come under threat. So we have to do that. So Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, I told you, right? This is just the beginning, right? I told you, once you manage to finish your APC, Egbekegbe, trade by barter ticket, between us, it is just a continuation of the whole thing. Pay attention very well. I don't hate any of your leaders. And I've said that many times. I don't hate people. I'm not somebody who hates. Hate is a very strong word. And before I tell you that I actually hate you, I hate you. If I say that, it must be something I mean. And it's not something I say lightly or say out. And I can't remember how many times I said that to anybody. Not in my life. But the truth you can always be very sure of is that I don't like them. And I don't pretend about it. If they do something good, it's all about what they say they would do. If they do them, I will talk about that. If they then, when I talk about the system, how the system is enabling them to get away with a lot, then I will still talk about them. You have not been paying attention. I don't like them. I don't like any of them. And I'm not hiding it. And you, who is their supporter, you have the right not to like me. But if you say you hate me, you probably don't understand why. Because if they ask why do you hate me, you say you hate me because I'm talking about criminals. So it doesn't make any sense. But you can say, I don't like him because he criticizes our leader. He talks nonsense about our leader. That guy, I don't like. But when you say you hate me, you want to do this or that to me, that's common nonsense because I don't have any business with you. Seriously, I don't. If all of us are thinking we're supposed to be victims, we're supposed to be friends because we are victims of the system. We are victims of the system. But at the same time, I don't like them. You don't like me. What do you expect? If I see them do anything right, I will say it. Sheyi Makinde, when he was doing the nice thing that we could trace and touch, I said them. When it came to this insecurity and this traitorship, he is also a traitor, Yoruba traitor. But to his own supporter, no, he's not. He's not because to his supporters, Nigeria is fine. At least Sheyi Makinde is governor. That's why I said that you don't have to like me. You don't owe me that. You don't owe me any like. I hate this guy. That is too much. Because you have no reason to hate me. I've never been part of those who actually, either those who decide what your country is going to be like. I have never been part of that. So why should you hate me? I don't even live in the place. I am supposed to be liked by you, but you don't owe me that. But hate me or hate your leader. I don't hate any of your leaders. I don't, I just believe that all of us have one life. We should just be responsible for our actions. Like whatever you do, be bold enough and be responsible for it. Just say, yeah, I did that. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I did that. I'm not sorry. Fine. And then you move on. So we are victims of the system that many of you are defending. And it is also our right to say, no, we don't want to be part of that. Yeah, you should learn how to be that, to be like that. Somebody is asking me what did Tinubu destroy? I know I may have to just start all over again if I have to personally explain to you because most of these questions are not really questions. Okay, they are just like tell us why you don't like him. Oh, yeah, tell us why. Why should I tell you why I don't like him? Well, all I told you all the time is to tell you about a system that created them, a system that is rigged against people like myself, a system that he supports, a system that keeps majority of you poorer. So it's part of that. Why should I single him out and say I like him? I've told you his role. But to you, it's not like that, which means that's fair, that's fine. For you, not for me. So we won't just talk, like we said, we would act, and acting is going to start soon. So we want many of us to know that, okay? So I am not your friend, and I'm not expecting you, Lagos Abobakus, Tifnumbu apologists, the ass lickers, the orisers, and the rest of you, okay? But one thing I'm very sure of is that you are always going to be watching me. You know that? Even if you leave now, you're going to come back and still watch Mayegun. You know why you are watching Mayegun? Because you know your worst fear is that everything Mayegun say is true and they will always come back to haunt you. So I'm not responsible for your actions. I'm not responsible for what who you choose. I'm not responsible for how you go out there. I'm just asking you to be responsible for the consequences of those actions. And don't push it aside. Don't turn it around. Now, within just few hours of declaring Kolu, Kolu is already talking about changing Nigeria from the 16 years of PDP rule. This is after 8 years, it is almost 8 years of APC. And you are telling me that I should sit down and be arguing with Lagos Abobaku, the Lagos Abobaku that are going to, you want to talk to them and say, okay, yeah, what does Tinubu have to offer? And they'll start asking you about Atifku, start asking you about this or that, and you'll be like, what's my business with Atifku? Yeah, you know, well, if you don't like Tinubu, is it not that you are supporting Atifku? I say, so don't waste your energy. We know where this is going to end. And because we don't want to end there with them, we want to end in a better place. It's up to us. So before they capture you, before they brainwash you, before they emotionally blackmail you, we need to keep the tempo up. I'll open my line soon. I know a lot of people want to talk. Lagos Abobakus, I won't mind if you can pick up your phone. Listen, you see that number on your screen? Yeah, it's a WhatsApp call number. WhatsApp only. Don't call directly. That's +4479 6063 then 1010. That number is a WhatsApp call. Okay. I've told you, enjoy the moment, pick up that phone, call in, right? And then say it to my face, right? That Ashiwaju Oga yin oti wole. Make I just have a chat with you. You know what I mean? If you're an Ashiwaju person and you know that people are just hating, you're just hating. Ashiwaju is the best. Pick up that phone. If you are lucky and I pick your call, just be ready to educate all of us what we don't know. Don't use one. Don't use assumption and the rest of, because I would love you to give us a fact. We don't know everything. Nobody knows it all. So pick up that phone and call in. Don't just keep typing. I don't think it's that bad, is it? But let me go and make myself a cup of tea. I'm going to come back in a moment. And when I get back, we will continue from where I am stopping soon. So where is that? Great. I'll be back.